Let's be honest. You know you need to be on Google, but you're trying to understand all the different options that are available to you as a service-based business. So in this video, we're going to go through the 4 placements that you need to know and you need to understand how they operate. So to kick things off here, what we're going to do is we're actually going to pull up an actual real life search result that we can walk through together. So to kick things off here, we're going to be looking at roof cleaning in Portland, Oregon as our example. And when you scroll down, the first thing you see right off the bat is Google Guaranteed. Now, the reason why Google Guaranteed is important is not just the fact that your business has been verified even more than most businesses, is the fact that you have the actual option to show up first. So when anybody searching on a desktop or a mobile platform or tablet, you will have the option to be able to be the first thing that people see. And when they click on your ad, it is going from instead of just a click to an actual form of generating a lead. In other words, this is a paid placement spot, but when you're done paying for the action, you're actually paying for either a phone call or a message in the form of a lead. So it's actually a truly cost per lead type of advertising. It's not just the fact you're paying for clicks, you're actually paying for a phone number being dialed and or a message being sent in. Additionally, then, you can also dispute if you believe that the lead that you've been charged is not actually accurate or is not the right type of lead potentially. And you can actually dispute that and get a refund of that. The kicker with this, as far as where the competition comes into play, is this is open to anyone who's willing to submit proof of liability insurance, go through a background check, as well as then sometimes some additional verifications that need to happen from time to time. You have to submit some documentation about your business too, but it's open to everyone who is willing to do that and actually, of course, passes all of that and has a Google My Business listing. I should have clarified that too. Either way, this is a good thing to try to get available to you. Sometimes there can be some fierce competition for this because of the fact that when somebody takes an action, it is in the form of a lead right off the bat. In other words, you are paying for the call. You're only being charged when somebody actually calls or sends you a message. So that's why this can sometimes be competitive. However, you may be in an area, and this can happen in sometimes rural areas or sometimes slightly more rural areas outside of big cities where no one has done this yet. And you could be the actual first person in your industry to actually go about doing this. Just because when you search for your service in your area and you do not see anyone with a Google guaranteed checkmark does not mean that you could not be the first. And by the way, when you are the first, that means you don't really have any competition. So, therefore, keeping the cost of the lead down. We'll get into some of that other stuff maybe in a different video as far as like how to go about bidding on these things, but we'll come to that later. All right, next spot is regular search ads, as I like to say it. And of course, everyone has seen these for a multitude of services and or searches that they've done in their life. And these ones actually are really good to work on just from the fact that you can actually be very granular. And you can also have more targeting options available to you than the Google Guaranteed. So Google Guarantee allows you to target based on an industry service typically. So for example, somebody was interested in roof cleaning, even though they're classified as a window cleaner, ironically, they can, let's say they check mark roof cleaning, so therefore their business will show up for roof cleaning as well. This one, you could actually say, instead of just saying roof cleaning, you can actually say, I only want to work on metal roof cleaning, something like that. And you can actually just target that search specifically. That's where these come into play. There's a lot more granular control, device control. I would even say somewhat even a bit more easy to target regions. There's a lot more levers that you can pull. It also can also be the fact that since this is available to everyone, you can have a lot more competition. And you got to think through that as far as when it comes to how you want to go about bidding that. At the end of the day, though, this is a very good spot because besides this, and especially if no one is up here in the Google Guarantee, this will be the first thing, of course, that people see on a mobile device or a desktop device. Of course, scrolling down here, we got the Google My Business section. And some people refer this to sometimes the map pack, all sorts of different things. I like to think of it this way, especially when I'm searching for something like Portland, Oregon, and I'm not using the search term like near me. There's oftentimes, when it comes to service-based business, it's like Google has an idea where it thinks the center of the city is. Now, this isn't true for maybe every type of search like this, but think of it like that. So in other words, it's going to focus in looking at the center of what it thinks Portland, Oregon is, and then start maybe branching out from there, from that initial spot of radius. And therefore, that's why you can sometimes see some of these come up a little bit sooner than others. This isn't true for everything. I'm very clear on that. This isn't. Sometimes you'll see a listing in here that isn't maybe as, or it doesn't seem like maybe it doesn't show up on the map immediately or something like that. But you'll notice that where is the PDX, brother? I guess I see PDX showing up here right off the bat, and that's pretty close to the center. Like I said, it's sometimes usually a bit more regional based looking out. The closer to the center, I actually feel like you have a better chance in showing up there. Now, there are other ways to try to optimize your Google My Business listing for searches like this, and there's a myriad of other things. But this is the third spot that will show up for searches for near me and or city, state, location. All right, next, you'll sometimes see a suggestion from people also ask. The reason why some people are maybe sometimes a little frustrated about this is obviously this is not really relevant to you trying to promote your service-based business, but below that is the actual Google organic rankings. And the reason why I wanted to talk through this is you'll notice we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4 ads, 3 local service-based business, a question section before I even see my first organic listing. And since Google is still the default search engine of almost everyone, this is still important to think through for your service-based business. We always like to say to clients, we want to try to help you get an option for all 4 spots if possible. The more the more chances you have to show up in any one of these sections, the more likely you're going to get a click. And sometimes that click could be a call directly, let's say with Google Guarantee. Sometimes it could be a click to the site. Sometimes it might be a click to call off the search ad. Or maybe here off of the Google My Business listing and or click to your website, of course, with just the regular organic listings. These things are all factors that we want to think through as far as helping promote a service-based business, and you should be thinking about for your service-based business. You want to have as many chances as you possibly can. You want to have a strategy for each in this capacity for organic and paid. But just note that simply saying organic and paid, just even in Google search, there's basically 2 organic sections right off the bat here with the Google My Business and the normal organic listings. And then there's the paid search ads, and then there's the paid Google Guaranteed ads. So there's different options, and sometimes you might be only able to capitalize on, honestly, sometimes you're only able to capitalize on one of them. But there will often be times where you can capitalize on at least 2, if not 3, and once again, ideally, if you can, 4. These are the 4 spots that you want to be understanding how your service-based business can show up for customers that you can service. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this explains some things. Hopefully you've learned some knowledge and kind of thought through maybe a little bit of an idea of how you want to utilize this in your business. By all means, if you have questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and we'll see you in the next video.